I chose Maria Dolores Martí Bermudo, or Lola, as the recipient of this award because she has been an inspiration to me since the day I met her. Lola is not only an excellent scientist with a very active mind, but also a great leader and mentor. And it is never dull when you are with her, whether teaching in Africa or discussing our next lab collaboration. Congratulations, Lola.
I think that this award is especially nice because I think that we need to reinforce the presence of women in science, especially because science needs as many minds as possible. And aside from the fact that women make half of the workforce in the world, women bring different and valuable perspective, talent, and creativity.
I think it is important that women have a voice in science. When I take Ina's example, and I think that is the best example we can have, that is to lift up science to a level where research topics address the needs for the well-being of families. That is something where women can make a difference.
Our passion is behavior. She is studying behavior of dogs and I behavior of children with autism. And knowing that dogs can be assistants for children with autism, I think it's a very nice connection that we have both this kind of passion.
When it comes to the aspects of food that are to do with health and diets and behavior, you find a lot of women. When it comes to the more traditional physical sciences, it is still more dominated by men. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think you described it quite well. The disciplines themselves are quite unequal in a way. I think it's important now, looking forward and trying to influence and change the food system, that we get especially more men into the social science bits of the food systems also, and vice versa.
Dear Valerie, I came across many strong profiles of successful women all over the world, but the one that stood out to me the most was yours. I'm extremely pleased to hand over my heirloom to you, and I wish you continued success. How do you think women are changing science, and how can we support the next generation of women?
Women scientists like Marzi and myself, we do represent role models for the next generation of women scientists. And I think what our role is to make sure that the environment remains inviting and a safe place in order to work.
My hope would be that in the future we have no need for such awards, because it's taken as a given that, as I said, a scientist is a scientist.
I strongly believe that it's very important that scientists represent the communities that are funding their research, because if scientists don't look like the population are less likely to trust us and believe us, and we need to build that trust.
I'm now going to pass over my award, which is a great pleasure. I'll pass it to Ruth. And so Ruth.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Perhaps you could give us a few thoughts on how you think women are changing science.
Well, one of the things I think that strikes me most is the productive collaborations I've seen among women scientists. You and I have run our research group together for a long time, and I really think this has allowed us to play to each other's strengths and explore different angles on research problems. We have really achieved together things that are much greater than we might have done as individuals.
I saw how much you make sure that poorer students get to university, stay at university, get their degrees, and become the next generation of scientists. And that is not just an amazing thing to do for itself, for those people, but for the scientific community, because we need those people in it. So that's why I nominated you, Mary.
This has given me the confidence to do more than I was doing and what I plan to do. It is not only meant for a certain class or race of women scientists, but regardless of your background or your nationality, you can win such an award. And that is amazing.
It meant an awful lot to me as well, because it's the first time in terms of receiving an award that acknowledges not only one's scientific output, but also scientific communication, as well as support for women in STEM.
One of the nice things about this prize is that you get to pick the person that you think deserves it. The reason I thought of you is that I saw the passion and drive that you have to make the scientific environment a better place.
Science is quite a profession of excellence being the key quality. And if you're excellent, it doesn't really matter what your culture or your background are.
The role of men and women in science, I think, is the same. So we all have to elucidate what's not known, and we have to build knowledge to help society to improve. It is known, though, that a combination of different expertise and different approaches are really helpful to do that, will make it better. And I strongly believe that women very often have a different approach.
Engineers are so important in shaping the world around us. You know, they build the physical, the digital infrastructure, the products and services that we all rely on every single day. We've got so many fantastic women in engineering, including you, of course. We need so many more.
Yeah, exactly. And it breaks my heart that some women are put off engineering because they think it's not for them. And I think that's what you and I are both passionate about, is about helping people to have the visibility of engineering and the diversity of jobs that are available in engineering that suit everybody, really.
I would like to see that in 10 years, we don't feel threatened anymore by diversity, but we see it as something very positive, and that helps us to accomplish more. And we're going to be using 100% of the brains rather than 50 or 51 or 55.
And I think how it affects science is it brings more people into it. So the more we are working on science, the more we can achieve and address issues like sustainability, healthcare, like the vaccines also now, etc.
I can trace my decision to stay in astrophysics back to a conversation I had with Moira towards the end of my PhD, when I was doubting whether postdocs were the correct path for me.
Katie embodies to me the changes in science that have come with having more women in the field. It's a much more fun environment to work in than it used to be. And as I look ahead to the future, I hope that she'll be followed by many more women who will broaden our perspective on science.